It's like I said, you know, even Tetra itself puts out high frequencies. And what I mentioned to you the other day, that you know, it's highly possible that off the back of standard transmission.
So you reckon those on that one that I'm filming now are Tetra?
Yes, on the top.
Which
of
is
that.
the one the police use for encoded and encrypted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said before, the Canadian Mounted Police use Tetra. All the British emergency services use Tetra. There's various other countries that do use Tetra to a certain extent, but most of them don't. A lot of America or the US doesn't actually use Tetra, which is kind of strange.
Yeah. So we're just outside Dudley, and there are two towers here. We can call them the Twin Towers. Most unusual. First of all, that's the first tower, and what we find the elitists do, they piggyback on the back of legitimate operations. For example, this probably could be for the police fire and ambulance system, which we think it is. And then to generate signals, you don't need an awful lot of power, and yet we've got this monster of a tower in front of us here with all this stuff on.
I think it's the highest point in the area as well.
It is. Yeah, you can see this for miles around, and it's a big concrete concoction of something. There's masses of cables that going up. Now these generally come from a magnetron, them transmitters there for positive and negative ions, and there's other equipments. But look at this, there's one transformer, two transformer, three transformers, and another third building. We can't say what's in that, we don't know.
Well, I can see from here that there's an air conditioning unit, so there's going to be something that needs to be kept cool in there. Some computer equipment, I imagine.
But you've got security camera, which is understandable, I suppose, when it's unmanned, on that door there. And there's a security camera on the one here. So there's one camera there, and another one there on the door.
Pictures of these numbers, I'm going to give them a call and ask them. They probably won't tell us everything about.
But when you're generating weather signals and equipment, I mean, you can hear these transformers buzzing away in here, and the fans kicking in. Yeah, the massive cables there coming out. So you're looking at a lot of energy being transmitted here, Martin.
Yeah. And the thing is,
a fair few hundred kilowatts.
Yeah, and you know, and obviously what we're trying to find out here is the high frequencies that are being used. Because, for example, let's just say, for example, this is just an innocent building, and there's, you know, it's just a transmission, etc. We don't know what the adverse effects on the weather are with that, but I'm sure somebody does, and someone's harnessed it and tapping into it. It's kind of, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Doppler frequencies generally work with positive and negative ions, and normally you will see two towers. There is a patent on radio, two towers or two frequencies working on normal transmission of radios. But this, I have seen wavelengths coming off this on the radar.
Can you not feel it now as well? Just not feel it.
I've got a bit like my feet feel warm.
Yeah. I feel
a bit of a tingling
as well. You know, only a tiny bit. But then again, the Tetra systems themselves cause cancers. The police know this, and as I said before, someone that I know as well, and I mentioned the name for the camera, but someone that started at my work recently, used to work at Motorola and helped design and build the Tetra systems. I mean, I can't wait to speak to her and her friend that still works there. And these things cause cancers, you know, and the police officers out there are using these things, you know. And,
yeah.
But that's obviously not why we're here looking at this. What we're looking at here is looking for, well, it's giving us photographic and video evidence of something that is putting out high frequencies. But there are, if you look at the top there, Harry, up the top, above the fourth level block there,
yeah,
and you'll see the poles that stick out with an aerial that come off it.
Yeah.
But those ones there are for like meteorology. I've seen those before. So they will either be partly to do with the Met Office, or they will be to do with some kind of private entity, which we discussed earlier. you know.
No, on a freedom of information, we need to know, because what we found on the next rads, the Met Office owns some of them that they stick on their list, but then we keep finding other next rads around the country that are corporately owned, and one of them is a wind profiling station in Paris, which is like a harp station. So why would a corporate company want to own one of these when they are the ones, the harp one, which we can add to this video later, which is in Paris, I've done a video on it anyway, is for weather, wind profiling and upper atmosphere measuring.
Yeah.
So we'll see, we want a freedom of information on this, we want to know who owns it, what frequency it transmits at, and is it anything to do with the Met Office?
Look, it says here, radiation. See? You know, radiation. What the fuck have they got in there that's radioactive? This says here, it's again, it doesn't tell you anything about what it actually is.
Euromass systems mandatory access. So the Euromass systems.
And that's what we need to start investigating, is to find out what this actually is. But if they've got that there, as you can see, radiation keep away. Crikey, what are they using in there that needs to use radioactive stuff?
Ah, there's a nice little jet up there, boxing away.
Yeah. Other than that, it's been a clear day, really, isn't it?
It's picking the focus up on the tree.
Well, I say a clear day. Been raining most of it.
I don't know what he is. So we'll have a look and we can make a good video of this later.
Check that out. You should get your camera on that plane going across.
Yeah, I just got him going through now. Put it on my tripod. Sorry about this, he's a bit shaky. Kept turning green and red, that did. Weird. Oh well, we'll see.